What is going on, guys? My name is Disectra and welcome to part 2 of Age of Empires 3 Tips and Tricks. Today I'm gonna talk about the best civilization in the game, and I'm also gonna talk about Ottoman units, so let's get straight to it. First I'll talk about the best civilization in the game. I'm gonna talk about the pros and cons of every civilization, and I'll start with the worst. My personal worst are the Spanish. The Spanish pros are that they earn city shipments faster, their explorer can recruit a war dog, the Spanish unique units are the Lancers, the Redorelos, and the Missionary, that's the Priest. I would point out the Lancer, and they are really good against infantry. Now the cons for this is that they don't have anything pretty unique that will separate them from the rest, and that is why the Spanish are just for beginners. My number 7 are the Russians. Now pros for the Russians are that they have a very cheap infantry. Also they can train 10 units at once, so they can very quickly build an army, which is really great for early game rushes. Also their unique units are the Strelet, the Cossacks, and the Oprichnik. But the cons for the Russians is that they have a really weak army. They are cheap, but they are weak. Their only good unit are the Oprichniks, which are the cavalry units. Number 6 are the Portuguese. So the Portuguese get a free covered wagon with every new age, so that means they have a new town center every time they age up. Their explorer can also use the spyglass, which can reveal the unexplored territory. They also have a strong navy. Their unique units are the organ gun, which is an artillery unit, and the Crusader, which is an infantry unit. They are both good against infantry. And they also have the strongest dragons in the game, with extra range and upgrades compared to other civilizations. Now their cons are that they are pretty weak in the early stages of the game, and they also have only 2 unique units. Next up are the Dutch. Now the Dutch are unique in the way that they have banks, which produce coin, and they also have settlers that cost coin, not meat. The Dutch unique units are the Ruiter, Fluit, and the Envoy. The Dutch mainly focus on economy. They are best as an ally because they really don't have good military units. At number 4 we have the British. The British pros are that their manor houses spawn settlers when built. Their unique units are the Longbowman, which is an infantry unit, and the Rocket, which is an artillery unit. The Rocket has a really good attack, but it's weak, and the Longbowmen have the longest range in the whole game and have a slight attack bonus against infantry, and they are one of the best infantry units in the game. The cons for the British are that they aren't really good at the beginning of the game, and also they are bad at the end of the game. So if you're choosing British, the best time to attack would be somewhere in the middle. Now we have the French, the Ottomans, and the Germans left. They are pretty similar, and I would suggest you to choose one of them. But at the number 3 are the Germans. The Germans have a lot of unique units, like the Doppelsold. I don't really know how to spell this. It's Doppelsoldner, which is the best infantry unit in the game. Next we have the Uhlan, the War Wagon, and the Settler Wagon. The Doppelsoldner has a weak but wide attack, so they are great if you have a lot of them. They also receive free Uhlans with every shipment, and their War Wagons are really powerful. They have really powerful military units, and their only con is that they don't have Grenadiers. And at number 2 are the French, and here's why. Their unique units are the Courrier de Bois, which is the settler, and the Cuirassier, which is the cavalry unit. Now the Courrier de Bois are the best settlers in the game. They really have a lot of hit points and they can act like a really weak soldier. And the cuirassiers are one of the best cavalry units in the game. They can be upgraded to gendarmes, which are fantastically powerful but are expensive. And they can also build 2 forts. The reason why they aren't the first is because the Ottomans are really powerful and I think the best civilization in this game. Their unique units are the Janissaries, Abzgan, Spahis, Great Bombards, Galley, and Imam, which is the priest. They have the best cavalry unit in the game, and that's the Spahi, and they also have the best artillery unit, and that's the Great Bombard. He has 475 hit points, 28 range, and a massive 500 attack. And this is before it's even upgraded. To put that in perspective, the cannon that everyone else has, fully upgraded, the Imperial Culverin, has 280 hit points, attack of 20 and 18 range. And that's nothing compared to a Great Bombard. And one of the major advantages to everyone else is that they produce settlers for free. And they are also very good early in the game because of Janissaries. So yeah, that's about it. Now I'm gonna talk about Ottoman military units. The Ottomans can only train one infantry unit, and that's the Janissary. It costs 100 meat, 25 gold, and it requires 1 population room. You get 13 experience points if you train it, and the enemy gets 13 experience if they kill it. It's a unique Ottoman infantry unit with good hit points, range, and a good attack. They act like a powerful musketeer. I really like Janissaries, they are my favorite units and are quite useful at the beginning of the game. Next we have the cavalry units. We have the Hussar. It costs 120 meat, 80 gold, and it requires 2 population room. You get 20 experience if you train it, and the enemy gets 20 experience if they kill it. The Hussar is a light cavalry unit with good speed and attack, but only in close range battles. He is good against artillery and other cavalry units. We also have the Cavalry Archers. They cost 100 meat, 60 gold, and require 2 population room. You get 16 experience if you train it, and the enemy gets 16 experience if they kill it. Cavalry Archers are a fast ranged unit. Only the Ottomans and the Russians have it. They have fewer hit points and a lower attack than dragons, but are cheaper to train and cost less population space. Now I'm gonna talk about some artillery units. First is the Abzgan. It costs 50 meat, 100 gold. It requires 2 population room. You get 15 experience if you train it, and the enemy gets 15 experience if they kill it. The Abzgan is a unique Ottoman military unit with decent range, hit points, and attack. It's best against infantry units. Next up is the Grenadier. It costs 120 meat and 60 gold, and it requires 2 population room. You get 18 experience if you train it, and the enemy gets 18 experience if they kill it. They are good against infantry and buildings, and are resistant to artillery, but they are vulnerable to cavalry. They are a little faster than proper artillery, but still slower than regular infantry. Next we have the Falcon Net. It costs 100 wood and 400 gold. It requires 5 population room. You get 50 experience if you train it, and the enemy gets 50 experience if they kill it. It has a long range and does a lot of damage, even damaging nearby units and buildings with area of effect damage. But it's better against infantry than buildings. Next we have the Culverin. It costs 100 wood and 400 gold, and it requires 4 population room. You get 50 experience if you train it, and the enemy gets 50 experience if they kill it. The Culverin has long range, good damage and accuracy, but a limited area of effect damage. It's best against other artillery. And the last artillery unit is the Mortar. The Mortar costs 100 wood and 350 gold. It requires 4 population room. You get 45 experience if you train it, and the enemy gets 45 experience if they kill it. Now the Mortar is used to damage buildings and ships, but it can't attack military units like infantry, cavalry, and other artillery. You basically use them when you attack a town, and it is very important to protect them against units that get close. We also have the Great Bombard. The Great Bombard is a unique Ottoman military unit with a massive attack, big range and lots of hit points. It also takes up a lot of population room, but it's worth it. You can produce it from the factory or you can ship it from the home city. And the last unit I'm gonna talk about in this video are the Spahis. The Spahis are a unique Ottoman cavalry unit with good speed, excellent hit points and no range. They are good in close range battles and they rely on their speed and hit points to get close enough to do damage. Spies can only be sent from the home city and you can only have a limited number of them at one time. And yeah, that's about it. Now I want to hear your feedback. What do you think? What is the best civilization to use? Do you agree with my selection? Tell me in the comment section down below. I hope you enjoyed this video and please don't forget to leave a like if you did and subscribe for more awesome gameplays.